Trump does now, he is wedded to the teleprompter. He can't get off that teleprompter. Anytime he does, he says things like, don't vote. He's telling people not to vote, like we have all the votes we need. Really? Like, wait a minute. You lost the popular vote to Hillary Clinton in 2016. You don't have all the votes you need. And so I think that it's just shown this is a different Donald Trump than 2015 and 16. Lost the zip on his fastball, has a sense of entitlement, all this stuff, doesn't think he has to go through and earn it like other candidates.
Well, that was Florida Governor Ron DeSantis yesterday in New Hampshire, attacking Donald Trump's age and his cognitive abilities. Joining us now, a man with his cognitive abilities intact, politics reporter for Semaphore, Dave Weigel. Dave, good to see you this morning. So we have in recent days been cataloging Trump's misstatements, shall we say, of late. But let's be clear. Polls show that he is 40 to 50 points ahead of his closest opponent in the GOP presidential primary. Do you think an argument like this from DeSantis makes one bit of difference?
Nothing really has. And for a lot of people, if you tuned out of the primary after Trump was indicted and did not dip in the polls, you're like a lot of Republican voters. The decision to endorse and support somebody who seems that he's under attack by the establishment, an argument that DeSantis validated by offering Trump sanctuary in Florida, if you remember, that really kind of froze the primary. So every argument has gone under that. Every argument about Trump's electability is subsumed by the Republicans' belief that if he was not electable, if he was not going to beat Joe Biden, he would not be in such trouble. And I would finally point out that polling has also found, as reliable as it is at this point in the election, that Ron DeSantis doesn't do any better than Donald Trump against Joe Biden. So the arguments he's making don't resonate with Republican voters.
Dave, I want to put you a theory. A senior Republican said to me in recent days that there's been this belief that if Trump's the nominee, that if he's in a courtroom all of next year, that's going to be really stunning to the American people, and they'll break away from that. Those independents won't want to side with him. Is there a possibility this is a strategy here by the Trump team to put him in court a lot this year, so therefore the shock value goes away and we're desensitized to it?
Well, they've been trying to push as much as they can past 2024 into the next year, into a period, frankly, when they believe he might be president, he could pardon himself. The campaign has just made use of the misfortunes that have come its way. And Trump has been able to dominate the conversation inside this primary by giving a few comments to reporters on the way into the courtroom. So they don't want this to be happening right now, but this is a unique primary. We have not had a former president who most of the base believes won the last election run for the nomination ever, if you include that second part. And so the base does not need, the primary voting base does not need to see as much of Donald Trump as it needs to see from these other candidates. It hasn't helped. They would love for him to not be in court. The status quo where he is in legal trouble, but they're pushing back with appeals is better for them than what's going on right now. But they'll take what's going on now.